Hello and welcome to another episode of New Belt Day Review. I am Serge Moore and we are back in the cathedral. We're going to have an awesome episode today. First, I'd like to announce I am no longer on Facebook, Twitter, name them. I'm not on any of the wrestling groups. I've decided to move past all that. No more business. Done with it. Done with dealing with customers, dealing with people. Moving on. Just finishing up what I have in here and getting it out the door. And I just want to enjoy my belt collection and the belts that I have coming and not deal with people. So we're moving on. No more Macro Pro, but we are going to continue doing these reviews because we enjoy doing them. And I love talking to you guys and I love all my subscribers and I'm not going to let you down. And now guess what? I have more time to make videos. So let's get started. We know what we're here for today. Boom, 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 boom. I have been waiting a long time for this one. Not as long as obviously some people, but I ordered this back in March from Mian Belts. Of course, COVID was going on. It was just starting and everything went to hell. But I finally got my belt a couple of weeks ago. I was waiting for when, I don't know if you guys know, if you talk to Mian or it's Mian Belts, by the way, on Facebook. If you talk to Mian or Eddie, usually you talk to Eddie. Eddie is awesome. He'll give you updates, as many as you want. But he told me that I would get 2 nameplates. It only came with a Moxley nameplate. I really wanted the Jericho. He said it was on its way and there's all these problems. So it's not here. And that's why it took me a little longer to film because I really wanted to have that Jericho nameplate on there. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay because I did get my Jericho figure. My new one that just came out. And I enjoy it a lot. The only thing I don't like about it, to be honest with you, he's a little opinionated and a little bossy. And, you know, I see him back there right now. He's watching me right now because I had the belts. You see how there's no belt in that display right there? And he's just standing there staring at me. I see you looking at me. I'll take care of it. It's not even yours. You didn't win it. You didn't pay for it. You have a little foam one on your shoulder. Enjoy that one. Don't eyeball me. Unbelievable. But anyway, let's start this off. And today we're going to do a little bit different. Normally, I'll hold up the belt here and show you pieces of it. We're not going to do that. We're going to do the first person mode, which I think I've seen other people do it. I think it's a lot better and I can actually show you details. Now, I want you to remember, I'm going to compare these to 2 other AEWs. I've had 2, and let's start there with the history of this. I had 2 AEWs that were not great. The first one was from eBay. I'm not sure who the seller was. A friend of mine ordered 2, you get a discount, and I'll tell you it was not great. And that's just what I'm going to leave it at. No, I'm not going to leave it there. Let me tell you. The edges were rolled for some reason on the leather. It was maybe 2 plates. It had a belt tip that looked similar to the IWGPs, but AEW doesn't have one. It didn't have the AEW stamp on the leather. It was far from good stones or plating. It was not a good belt, and I've shown you pictures as I've gone along. It was atrocious. Then the second one I sold that one, and I got one off someone that was selling it, made by Mateen, ELT belts. 100% better. Stamping on the leather. The plating was great. Had good jewels on it. Great sparkle. Looked totally a million times better. No stupid belt tip. It looked a lot better than the eBay version. Then I saw, obviously I've seen Mian's V1, which was amazing. It was very good. Probably the best one out there at the time. Then he came out with a V2. And the V2 I'm going to show you now is what I actually ended up getting. I had to get that. When I saw it and I compared it to the original, it was as close as you could get. I don't know what anybody else has done out there. I know I've seen some other reviews on some AEWs made by different companies. I'll tell you, I compared this one, all 3 of them actually, to the original belt, the best pictures I could find of it. And I'll tell you, Mian's is as close as it gets. There is only one difference, and I'll show you now. You ready? 5 minutes of talking. That's enough. Let's get to the belt. All right, guys, here we are. This is the V2 AEW World Title made by Mian Mutasar at Mian Belts on Facebook. And it is a monstrosity, guys. This is definitely 4 plates stacked. Amazing quality, amazing etching. Let's get in here. And you can see, if you compare the etching on this, you see how it's more detailed. You got a little bit of silver in between. And I'll show you on the picture in a picture, you'll see that the other 2 I had were not like that. It was just a whole lot of etching all over the plates. There was no real pattern to it. And I'll show you here, this is a huge difference here from the other belts. This plate, on every other belt I've had, it was 1 plate. This and this were all 1 large plate. And Mian, he makes the effort to separate them. You got 1, 2, 3 plates, almost 4 plates stacked here. You can see the sparkle on these. But he did an amazing job. And if you compare, I've compared pretty much every part of this belt to the original. Even these globes right here are pretty close to the original. The settings, all the diamonds, everything's pretty much where it is on the original. And you can see on the other belts I had also these circular plates with the globes were all part of the same plate. So they had no lip like this. And you get that 3D effect when you have that. Now, the only thing I did see that was different, and it's barely noticeable, man, is these stones right here. And it's not that they're not in the right place. It's not that they don't look right. It's that the setting itself, the gold setting, was a little bit thicker, a little bit taller. But, man, I'll tell you what, I don't care. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now let's move on to the leather here. The tooling is exactly what it's supposed to be. I kind of watched or looked at pictures of the original. And the tooling is pretty close to the original. Of course, no belt tip, duh. But the leather feels really good. It probably doesn't look as good as others that I've had. It's from Mian. It's not as soft, right? But it looks great. And it looks amazing in my display. My first AEW was heavy. I thought the second one was heavy. I thought this IWGP up here was heavy. And I'll tell you, this thing is the heaviest belt I've ever held. Easily. Even the TNA. Even that. This is just outrageous. And it feels so much like the real deal. When I look at Moxley on there wearing his, I'm like, wow, it is so close to the original. So there you have it. My new AEW World Title. Great job by Mian Mutasar at Mian Belts. Get in touch with Eddie. He's his man. He will give you an amazing deal. It took a little longer for me with the COVID, but he normally cranks these out pretty quick. I also love the way the AEW logo on these sticks out. I don't think it did on those other ones either. I think it did on the Mateen version, but not on the eBay version. The eBay version was barely an AEW belt. I'll tell you that much. And there's a reason you do not order from eBay. The other thing on eBay, the nameplate didn't even have a nameplate at first. My friend had to make them add one, and then they just added it over where they had already put a jewel. They had put a jewel right here, one of these. They had put it right here, and they just put the nameplate over it. So, much better job here. You have somebody that actually knows what he's doing, has the right artwork, and more than anything, has the patience to make such a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. All right, guys, so boom, 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 we're back in my room. And will you stop staring at me? He has such an attitude. But that was the review. Let's do the over-the-shoulder test. OMG. Oh, this thing is heavy. I'll tell you what, guys. If you want a good AEW belt, do not go to eBay. Mian Motorsar, and I'll tell you, that version of the AEW I had from Mateen was probably an older version. I'm sure he's upgraded since then, and I'm dying to see what that's going to look like. I know Classic Shield is making one, and who knows what the original replica will be like. But for now, I have the most TV accurate AEW world title I have seen. So thank you for watching, guys. I got another video coming up soon on that US belt that I promised you guys I was going to do. I'm actually going to film it right now, so I just got a chance to show you. But I want you to keep watching, keep tuning in, like, share, subscribe.